Hello everyone and welcome to the Altenew Bold and Beautiful video hop. I'm so honored to be here with you. I am Bridget Casey from Bridget Casey Designs. Here's a sneak peek of the two projects that we are going to create with products from this amazing release. We're going to start with Happy Flowers. We'll also use linear spiral. We will also use Well Red at the end. I decided to pull that in at the last moment. Now we're going to get started. We have some inks for our flowers. We're going to use Peach Perfect, Heartbeat, Volcano Lake, Emerald Marshland, and Sea Forest. I didn't end up using the mangrove root. We do additionally use limestone, butternut, and pumpkin pie. So on the layering guide, we're going to get started, and I'm showing you here that the stamp on the carrier sheet is lined up similar to the layering guide. So I'm going to pull it right off there, and I'm going to make sure when I'm putting it into my stamp platform that I'm matching the layout in the layering guide in case I have any difficulties with lining up the layers later. I have a resource, and I don't have to turn my paper and fidget. So I've lined both the A and the B up to match the layering guide, and we'll get started. So we're going to pick those up with our door of our stamp platform. We're going to use our stamp conditioning eraser from Altenew before applying Volcano Lake ink. And I will warn you, I was all thumbs when I was making this video, so I had a few inking issues. I dropped some ink pads. It was a day. So that's Volcano Lake, and this one is going to be Peach Perfect, which I have to re-ink it, but I just double stamped it, which is great because it gives you a little bit of a different color than is regular if you just stamp with one layer, which I love. So now we're going to get started, and I'm pushing my stamp so it's off the image. I'm just showing you here that there's that white space that I want you to pay attention to. I like to push my stamp off so I know it's off, and then I can just slide it into place. It helps me to see where to align my stamp. For this, I'm looking generally in the center, and then I check the outer edges. And again, on this stamp, we're doing the same thing using the layering guide, which is off to my left, and we're getting that onto the image, and I'll show you. I'm looking at that center right there. That center is super helpful on this flower for me. I'll pick those up with my door. Now we're going to use Heartbeat. I've already treated the stamps with my stamp conditioning eraser off screen. Get that stamped. I love this color combo. One of my faves, absolute faves. Now we're going to do Volcano Lake and Emerald and get that stamped over. And then we'll do our centers. So I'm lining up that center bit of the center. And I'm going to use butternut here after I use my stamp conditioning eraser to make sure it takes the ink well. I'll stamp both of our centers with that beautiful butternut. And now we're going to move on to the second layer of the center, which I mess up as I'm dropping ink pads, I'm dropping pumpkin pie. So my A flower is fine. My B flower, I accidentally put the A layer down. So I'm going to fix it on this flower where I have the correct center. But I'm going with it. I don't like to abandon projects. So I am rocking with it. I even have a stray emery hair on there, but we're going to fix that in the end. We're going to cover it up. So now I'm getting my leaves put into my stamp positioner and using Marshland ink for the majority of those. So I'll get those stamped on there. And I'm going to stamp a few because who doesn't need lots of leaves? Lydia is my amazing inspiration when it comes to using leaves. I love how many she uses and the positions. They're just amazing. So for this one, we are going to stamp this in Sea Forest. And for the first layer, this one, we are going to go ahead and we're going to get this lined up. This is the second layer of the leaves. So we'll get those all lined up and in position, pick them up with the door. Then we're going to use Sea Forest for this layer on this one. I love this green set. We need this in a gradient cardstock. Ooh, 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 would look stunning. And so let's get this lined up again because I was a little bit off on the other one, but I'm still going to use those leaves because you can tuck them under your arrangement and nobody knows you were off. So on this one, this is going to be Sea Forest again. I'm just going to stamp it twice so I get a very nice color variation, but it is actually monochromatic. So on this one, my trick, I keep the stamp on the carrier sheet, I flip it over, I'm putting on limestone ink over the entire background stamp, and then I just lay a piece of cardstock, rub gently, and voila, we have the background. Now I'm going to cut everything out using the Happy Flowers die set, and I trimmed our panel in half at 4 1/4, so I have two 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panels. And now is the fun time. We get to fidget with the flowers. Yay! This is the best time because this is how your cards come to light. So I decided I was going to put 2 on each and then, put leaves around, whichever worked best on each. And I hope you can see, I love that difference of the marshland versus the sea forest leaves. I love having 2 different colors of leaves. And I like to take pictures. I am not a press and seal gal. I like pictures, so I took a picture. Now I'm putting foam tape on the back of my flowers. Now this will help me because I will be able to just move that one panel of flowers around and figure out where I want things. So I'm going to set that there. I also like to, when I'm crafting, take off the carrier sheet, and I like to stick my coordinating pieces, like the leaves, onto the foam tape. If I don't have it in a section, I'll just put some glue tape on the end, like I did there, and tuck it in. Now we'll put some glue on the back of the leaves, on the back of the foam tape, so I have some time to wiggle it if I need to, and we'll get that stuck down in place. And that leaf was a little too tall, so we're going to chop it off there and then put some glue and tuck it in, and nobody knows the difference. Now we're going to do the same thing. Similarly, I'm covering up the emery hair on my Laguni flower. Then I'm going to put them together with foam tape so I can move them as one unit. Then we'll remove the carrier packing on the foam tape. We'll attach our leaves where we want to have them. That foam tape is super sticky, so you see me keep moving my fingers off it. They're super duper sticky, but that's wonderful. So we're going to get this put down in position. Get all of our leaves on there and then get that put down in position. And I didn't bother with glue on that one because they had all stuck down. So we're going to choose a couple sentiments from Well Read. This is probably my favorite stamp set of Altenew at the moment. There's a sentiment on there that I use frequently with my husband. The I carry your heart, I carry it in my heart. So this stamp set means the world to me, and I'm so grateful that it was created. You saw me use some satin masking tape to hold down my card panel in the cutout on my mat that is for the cards. It helps my panel not move. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to tape it down with a satin masking tape. I align my stamp with my crafter's alignment mat, pick it up with my lined block, stamp it in the obsidian. I come over, I line it up again on there, and voila, perfectly aligned card, and it didn't wiggle while I was making it. So I hope you had a good time making these cards today. I know I had fun, and I hope you enjoyed this amazing release. Until next time, stay safe and happy crafting.